Hi friends, in this video I'm going to talk about an important area called as AFM theory. Now why am I talking about this? Because this is one thing which can make or break your exemption score. It can significantly impact your ability to score an exemption in the subject, and I've seen many students missing out on this. What I wanted to tell here, you need to listen to my video for the first 5 minutes, and thereafter you follow the guidance I give, and it will be very critical for you to score exemption in this subject. Now, somewhere students have a habit of ignoring the AFM theory altogether. Now, I wanted to just go back and see what has happened in every exam. I've taken down the MTPs as well as the regular exam. May 24 MTP, 16 marks was the testing for the theory part. And if you have to complete your paper for 100 marks, you have to at least attend 12 marks of theory. One question could have gone in choice. Same way with MTP 2. May 24 exam, which is your main exam, 8 marks of theory you have to attend out of the 70 marks of descriptive. November 24 MTP1, 20 marks of theory has to be attended, then 14 marks of theory. In this exam, November 24 exam, they did not test that much of theory, only 8 marks of theory got tested, and 4 marks was mandatory for a student to attend. This was an exception paper. Otherwise, if you come to your May 25 exam, again 12 marks of theory to be attended. Broadly, I feel that a student would be forced to answer 12 marks of theory in exam. And these are the questions which have come from theory area. Every attempt, I have listed down the question. You can just go through this list. May 24 MTP, there was a question on unicorn, sustainable growth rate, tokenization, or risks in CDO, and areas where VAR can be applied. Something like that. I've noted down for all the MTPs as well as all the exam papers. Now, what this tells us, you will be forced to answer theory of around 8 to 12 marks. And in case you are answering a question, all question which is theory, then even 16 marks of theory you will be forced to answer in exam. Looking at the mock test paper trend as well as the past exam trend, what students end up doing is they entirely neglect this area. If you entirely neglect this area, scoring an exemption will become more and more challenging in my subject. So to score an exemption, it is very critical that you pay focus on the theory element. Now there also I have some prioritization I want to give you. I have a playlist, I'll talk about that in a minute, but this is my chapter 1 total marks, chapter 2 the historical mark distribution, where you see the important chapters are chapter 15, which is what I tell all the students, chapter 7, chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 4. These are the most important theory chapters. Other chapters also you can pay attention. These are the most important theory chapter, where in YouTube I have my theory playlist. I have my AFM theory playlist. If you can listen to this area alone, this area, and spend little bit time, around 5 hours would be this 5 chapters. In that, chapter 4 is taking more time, other chapters relatively lesser time. If you can listen this theory at even 2x speed, this theory was recorded in some 1.5 years back, doesn't really matter, no major changes in theory, some 1 or 2 questions add on can be there. So if you can listen to this theory at even 2x speed, and you listen once and then you prepare on your own, somewhere out of that 16 marks of theory, you'll be able to answer 12 marks of theory or 10 marks of theory, and more or less score marks in that, or score 70-80% in the theory segment. Because theory segment, if you're writing the points which ICI has given, mostly they will award marks in exam. So for theory segment, rather than giving general answer, if you can go through these videos and the videos are available in my YouTube channel. There is a CA Final AFM theory playlist. In the AFM theory playlist, you will find I have covered some 13-15 chapters. 13 chapters I have covered. 2 chapters I did not cover, but these chapters are covered. This is one thing. Which material can I use? You can either use my edition 3 detailed theory. Edition 3 detailed theory. In the video, you will find edition 1. No major difference. You first go through the video once and then see this material. This is 95 pages. In case student says, no, I cannot read 95 pages and all, it is too much of time. then you can go through the concept book theory notes, which is only 33 pages. Only 33 pages theory notes, very limited theory notes, 33 pages theory notes. With this, with 33 pages, I can assure you around 10 marks, 10 to 12 marks in the theory part. That is the beauty of this area. If you can secure around 10 marks in theory, then scoring an exemption becomes relatively easier. Otherwise, it becomes very, very challenging because students somewhere are not able to score marks because they have not focused on the theory part. Because you're not focusing on the theory part, you're focusing too much on the practical part. And if the paper becomes tougher, it will become very difficult for you to score marks. So whenever paper becomes difficult, it is relatively difficult to score marks in the practical area. That is where theory will help you. So don't ignore theory. Pay attention to these 5 chapters. Look at the historical breakup which is there. Pay attention to these 5 chapters. Other chapters, if you have time, do it. But otherwise, these 5 chapters are very, very critical. If you pay attention to these 5 chapters, more or less you'll be able to answer the theory requirement in exam. Thank you, friends.